Welcome to this explainer. In the modern architecture of elite European football, the summer transfer window is supposed to function as a calculated, long-term exercise in financial restraint. You know the drill. Clubs conduct months of analytical scanning, scouts run deep data matrix simulations, and sporting directors negotiate through multi-layered payment schedules just to balance their financial fair play ledgers. But when the doors of Stamford Bridge swing open, conventional corporate logic is violently thrown out the window. Just 48 hours after the conclusion of the World Cup in North America, Chelsea Football Club didn't just re-enter the transfer market, they detonated it entirely. Operating under the structural demands of manager Xabi Alonso, the Blues have executed a jaw-dropping, unprecedented dual raid that has left rival executives in a state of absolute panic. This is the inside story of the transfer window hijack that broke the Premier League. To really grasp the scale of this, we have to look at the numbers, and they are staggering. Chelsea has officially broken the British transfer record, submitting an astronomical £117 million package to secure Aston Villa's attacking phenomenon, Morgan Rogers. That move alone absolutely shatters the previous historical record set by Elliot Anderson's move to Manchester City. It's a massive financial flex that sets the absolute top of the market. And honestly, before the rest of the league could even digest those numbers, Chelsea accelerated a secondary siege for a massive defensive general, bringing the total master plan to a staggering £177 million. The financial hierarchy of English football is literally on fire right now. The absolute shockwave of this move was confirmed by transfer guru Fabrizio Romano, who stated, "Morgan Rogers has signed his 6-year contract as new Chelsea player, a £117 million move from Aston Villa completed." But what makes this a true cutthroat hijack is that Rogers was actually Arsenal's top priority target. Snatching him right out from under their London rivals is a massive, and let's be honest, ruthless statement of intent from the Blues hierarchy. It's a wildly aggressive way to bounce back from last season's hugely disappointing campaign. So why him? To fully comprehend why Chelsea was willing to break the bank, we have to look directly at the unique data footprint Morgan Rogers has left across the pitch. During his sensational 2025-26 campaign at Aston Villa, he played 55 games, racking up 14 goals and 11 assists across all tournaments, and was completely instrumental in Villa reaching the Champions League and winning the Europa League title. Telemetry tracking from that run highlights an absolute masterclass in direct ball progression. Rogers operates in the 98th percentile for progressive carries, averaging over 4 box-penetrating dribbles per 90 minutes. He has this incredibly elite ability to pick up the ball in deep half spaces, absorb heavy physical contact from defensive pivots, and just accelerate through the center line to create a temporary 3-on-2 overload. He isn't a passive playmaker who relies on side-to-side ball circulation. He is Asset 1, a vertical battering ram custom-built for Xabi Alonso's fluid, high-tempo system. At just 22 years old, this English international has mutated into the most devastatingly versatile attacking midfielder in Western Europe. He possesses a really rare physical profile, combining the raw, explosive upper body strength of a traditional target man with the microspatial agility of an elite winger. He can operate as an auxiliary left winger or right down the middle as a cam. This massive feast smashes at least 9 different transfer records, officially making him the most expensive English player ever. And we just saw his elite pedigree on the world stage, starting on the right wing for England in the 2026 World Cup semifinal against Argentina, where he brilliantly created a vital goal. Section 2. Asset 2. The Shield. Securing the rest defense. Now, an elite attacking engine is completely useless if your rest defense remains highly vulnerable to vertical counterattacks. And that is exactly why the Chelsea boardroom moved with lethal efficiency to secure their secondary target, Maxence Lacroix. The 26-year-old French international center-back, who just played in the 2026 World Cup semifinals in North America, has been the absolute cornerstone of a rock-solid Crystal Palace unit that captured European silverware. Pundits have audited the transaction, and the numbers prove exactly why Chelsea accelerated their interest immediately after his international duty concluded. Lacroix offers an elite, almost unfair combination of recovery speed and physical aerial dominance. Standing over 6'3", he won an astonishing 72% of his defensive aerial duels last season. But it's not just his height that's impressive. His individual sprint telemetry ranks him among the top 5 fastest central defenders in all of Europe. In Alonso's system, where the fullbacks are ordered to push incredibly high up the pitch to pin back opposing wingers, the center backs are frequently left isolated in massive open field tracking scenarios.
Lacroix's presence means Chelsea can safely deploy an aggressive, suffocating highline, knowing their defensive general possesses the physical velocity to neutralize world-class strikers before they can even cross into the box.
And the deal is heavily in motion. Reports state Maxence Lacroix is eventually keen on a move to Chelsea. He sits very high on their target list. Right now, executives are essentially haggling over a mere £3 to £5 million gap in valuation. Actually, when you think about it, haggling over $3 million when you've just spent $117 million on Rogers is a bit funny, but Bluecoat wants to determine exactly how much they need to raise through player sales to comply with financial regulations. Still, with the player actively wanting the switch to Stamford Bridge, this feels like a certainty.
Section 3. The Blueprint. Architecting Alonso's Vision.
So how exactly does Xabi Alonso plan to deploy these incredibly expensive new assets? Let's weigh the tactical hypotheticals. It's like a giant puzzle. Alonso could utilize a 4-2-3-1, maybe bringing in new young talents out wide and using Morgan Rogers as an auxiliary left winger. That kind of tactical flexibility is a massive weapon throughout a grueling Premier League season. However, when you really look closely at the specific profiles they're assembling, a 3-4-3 formation looks as though it would suit this Chelsea squad best on paper, offering maximum protection at the back and terrifying attacking width up front. Here is what Alonso's projected core looks like. We have Robert Sanchez in goal, a three-man defense featuring Reece James, Levi Colwill, and Jarell Hato, with Lacroix incoming to anchor the whole shebang. That wall is absolutely crucial because it provides vital, athletic protection for the midfield double pivot of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And up top, the 3-4-3 frees up Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers to operate right behind the striker, interchanging fluidly. It is a suffocating, dynamic, and explosive setup. Which brings us to the ultimate question. Will a £177 million gamble erase the memory of last season's disastrous 10th place finish and return Chelsea to Europe's elite? They've orchestrated a total financial heist, securing a battering ram to shatter defensive lines and a shield to lock down the counterattack. The vision is undeniably clear and the pieces are rapidly falling into place. But as we know in football, execution is everything. So what do you think? Is this calculated master plan a stroke of genius or just another wildly costly gamble? Thanks for joining this explainer, and we'll see you next time.